Hello, welcome to Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. Today's video is about my magnifying glass. The magnifying glasses have always been one of those things that a lot of people have kind of gone back and forth with for pretty much since forever. You know, a lot of people out there say, oh yeah, it's a very good, useful tool to have. Other people say it's completely useless. People say that's, oh, what the hell are you going to do with a magnifying glass? You're in the woods, you're in the shade, you know, like, use your brain, you know, what the hell are you going to do with this? Personally, I'd rather have one. I like to have one around, and it's not even just the fact of solar ignition, because solar ignition is immediately what most people generally tend to think of when it comes to bushcraft or in survival purposes and such. They're immediately going to assume solar ignition. But, you know, there's more than just solar ignition. There's also reading as well. You know, a lot of people that are out there, you know, may not have as good eyesight as you are. Maybe some people, our eyesight is not as good. Sometimes there's that fine print on a map they can't quite read. Maybe in a survival situation, someone who had glasses maybe lost their glasses or broke them. Magnifying glass would definitely come into play and helps with reading the maps and so on and so forth. But my eyesight's fine though. But in general, I like having a magnifying glass around. Aside from the obvious of this one just looking absolutely stunningly cool and awesome, I also have other ones as well that are smaller than this, and made a few for myself with this leather style. So in general, it's like one of those kinds of things, you know, this does not technically need reloading, as they say, you know, because a ferro rod, you strike it, you got about 1,000 or 1,000, 10,000 strikes, whatever it is, but sooner or later, it is going to run out. Your matches, sooner or later, is going to run out. Your lighter fluid is going to run out sooner or later. Flint and steel, same thing. You know, this doesn't need reloading. This does not require me to go home and get more supplies, so to speak. Sure, yes, we're in the woods. There's a lot of shade, but not always. You know, this is one of those items that I like to have with me, because if I can save that strike on the ferro rod, save that one match, save that little bit of fuel on the Bic lighter, save a little bit of that flint and steel, why not? You know, it takes up very little space, it weighs next to nothing, so, you know, why not carry it? Why not have it? It's dual purpose. It's one of those things that's a dual purpose. I can use this for reading small fine print on maps and such, which is vital for finding our way, or use it for solar ignition. You know, it's one of those items that I'd rather have it and not need it, rather than to need it and not have it. So, you know, this one is the one that I carry in my backpack. I have other ones as well that are smaller than this. I also keep in some fire making kits here and there. So, in general though, it's like, you know, you can use this for lighting all sorts of tinder, char cloth, charred punky wood. Punk wood in general can be lit with this, especially if you're in the sunlight, direct sunlight. Of course, that's the downside, is that you do need to have direct sunlight in order to have this to work. And it comes to the other downsides, is that the fact that, you know, you are in the woods, there is going to be a lot of shade. Excuse me. I have a little bit of a sore throat. And we're going to be in the shade, and also that, but, you know, there are days where it could be cloudy, it could be raining, storm, it could be cloudy for days, which renders this solar ignition to be useless. And that's probably why most people generally don't have a need or want for one of these. But personally, I rather carry it around. I've had a lot of use for it in the past. I try to use this whenever I can to save up on the rest. Excuse me. So again, that's just my personal view. That's my personal choice. Everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own personal preferences. Everyone has their own ways to go. So I'm not calling anybody out or anything like that, but I like to have one around. Other people I do know of don't like having them around. They don't like to use them, and that's entirely their decision. That's entirely their choice. They are entitled to their opinions and their choices. That's what's that. But just in general, and also this, just as a side note, is actually the magnifying glass thing. This is actually what got me into leather sewing. This is what actually got me started in leather sewing. So I've always wanted one of these with the leather wrapped around it, This one in general, I bought this at a store, by the way. The ones that I've made, this is what promoted me into learning how to stitch and sew with leather crafts and such, and learning how to do it all and such. You know, small, simple, easy, and that's what's really helped me to learn how to do the stitching for leather and making all the sorts of other leather crafts and projects. For example, this is my leather tomahawk sheath. Learned how to make that as well, you know. But this is what this is what generally got me started with the whole leather crafts, and so it's just the magnifying glass. So just a little interesting side note I just thought I'd throw in there. So again, you know, it's entirely your personal preference, entirely personal choices. I like to have a magnifying glass around. This one's a very powerful magnifying glass. Roughly the distance from the magnifying glass to the tinder is usually right up close like this. Some of the smaller ones I have, you got to hold it out to about roughly around 8 or 9 inches, give or take. But this one you can hold it right up close. I do not know the exact magnification number, whatever it is. I'm sorry to say I do not know what it is off the top of my head. I'm really sorry about that. The other magnifying glasses I have that I've made and put with these leathers are actually from a dollar store. So they're the 2-inch diameter lenses. The place that sold the 2-inch ones, I'm sorry to say they don't sell them no more. They sell 3 and 4-inch now. And so if you get lucky, try to find the 2-inch diameter lenses, or even try to get one of those. I'm sorry to say I can't remember the exact title of it, but it's like one of those like flat ones. It's like the size of a credit card, and it's like really flat. I can't remember the name of those ones. Try to get some of those as well, and those can fit right into your wallet and takes up no space, no weight whatsoever. Again, entirely your decision. Go nuts. So this is Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. Stay safe and have fun.